Hi, we're Stan and Rhonda from Over the Hill Adventures, and today we're going to come to you in preparation for boondocking. We have a few tips.
Stan's going to be outside sharing things with you.
And Rhonda's going to be inside showing you her tricks of the trade.
Boondocking can be kind of intimidating. It was for us. The past few years, we've come up with a few little tips and tricks that we want to share with you today to help your first boondocking trip, or maybe it's not your first one. Maybe you're going to learn a few things, and you're more than welcome to share a few things with us too. We're always learning. So come along with us and let's see what we got.
One of the things that we found that were really super important when boondocking is a water bladder. Now, it's important that you get a food grade water bag. The one we got, this Tank 30, you'll find it in our Amazon store, is a food grade, brand new, and not only that, it comes with a carrying cradle. But the first thing we're gonna do, since it's brand new, is we need to sterilize it. So this is what I do, folks, when I sterilize my water tank. I use bleach. That's how I sanitize the tank in the RV. And that's what I'm doing here. I just put that much of bleach and the rest is all water, and that is sufficient enough to sterilize it. Just gonna pour it in like that, get it started. Just put the whole contents in there. And then I'm gonna take the hose. My bucket hose! We're going to fill this all the way up. The Tank 30 is a 30-gallon water bladder. Now, some folks like 120 gallons, but for us, for right now, we have 52 gallons of water plus the 30. That's plenty of water for us to get through the week of boondocking. It's full. It's getting decontaminated as we speak. But I have a little bit of a conundrum. So I have this hose here connected to the valve in which I'm going to fill the trailer with. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna use this little pump. This is gonna connect to my trailer battery while this is sitting in my truck, because this is just too much weight. 8 times 30 is 240 pounds. And so that's what this thing weighs right now, 240 pounds. So you're not going to handle this. You're going to leave it in the back of your truck. And then what we're going to do is we're going to siphon it out from here. It has another valve right here. We're going to siphon it out, connect it to the pump here like this. And then we're going to have, and then you connect your water hose to this into the trailer. I'm going to have to get a part. So I'm going to do that at, what's that place called? Tractor what?
Supply.
Tractor Supply, because I got to get propane. We'll see Rhonda inside.
Speaking of propane, we are going to try to save water. We're going to try to save the propane as well. So I'm going to show you how we do our dishes when we're boondocking. We have this fantastic little collapsible dish tub, dishwashing tub. So it just kind of pops up like that. It has a drain here, removable. Some of this stuff may seem so simple, but when you're first boondocking, it can be extremely intimidating. It was for us anyway. Let us know in the comments if you guys have boondocked. So look at this, it fits so nicely in there. Now, you would think you could just turn this on after having the gas heater on and let it, but it's gonna waste a lot of water. So what we tend to do is, after we eat, we do use a lot of these. We use a lot of paper plates, and you can burn these if you want in the fireplace. So that is kind of nice. But if you tend to use, coffee cups and plates and things like that, and you want to do dishes, you're just going to take a pan, you're going to fill it with the water. This is filtered, by the way. We don't drink it, but it's filtered water. So Stan has the filter on the outside. So then you're just gonna fill it up and you're gonna do that. It's gonna take a lot less energy to I would put a lid on it too, it'll boil faster. And then you're gonna wanna just take that, dump it in here. When you eat, so let's grab the plate here. We do have some of our hard dishes, our ceramic dishes in there. You're gonna want a lot of paper towels, so just take paper towel. You might want gloves too, because can kind of get gross, depends on what you eat. Spaghetti's probably one of the worst. And then we just kind of take it and wipe it and get all the excess food off of there. So virtually they're pretty clean, and then you put it back in your, I'm kidding. I kid. You may not always have time. You might want to walk right after you eat or whatever. You can always just run a little bit of water. And then when you come back, you know, just run a little bit of water so they're kind of soaking. I'm going to get some biodegradable soap, which is like Myers. Myers has the biodegradable, so you're using that. We were reading the BLM rules about dumping your dishwater. And what you can do, it's acceptable where we're headed. We're going to be camping out in Quartzsite, Arizona, in the BLM land there. We're going to get a collapsible bucket, and I think we're going to take like a dish drainer, pull this over that in the bucket. That way any food particles will get captured into the strainer, because you don't want to be throwing food particles out into the desert and attracting wild animals, things like that. And then your bucket water, actually you can get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I mean, if it's not that dirty, you might want to use it to flush your toilets, but probably want to just discard it. So there you go. That's how we wash dishes in the desert.
So one of the most important things on boondocking and preparing for boondocking is to make sure that your propane is full. Now, if you've been watching us, you know that our generator is a dual fuel. It can run on gasoline or propane. I choose to run it on propane. Cleaner, no mess. I don't gotta carry gasoline. You know, you can fill it up with gasoline, but why? So anyway, so I'm gonna go to Tractor Supply and fill up all of my propane bottles. I have 3 propane bottles. I have one still 100% full on the trailer, so I don't gotta worry about that. The other thing is to know the amount of propane that you have that is connected to your trailer. I got the Mopica tank sensors, which tells me how much fuel I have left in each tank. So here's a tip. I also have one of those tanks that I got from an exchange rental. Don't ever exchange propane tanks. Got that? Don't ever exchange propane tanks. You know how they make money? By selling you short. When you go and you get one of these exchange tanks, mark my word, there's only 3 gallons of propane in there. You know how much I'm putting in my propane tank? 5 gallons. You're paying $19 for an exchange. You think, oh, well, if you think it's easy, but each time you're getting ripped off by 2 gallons of propane. When I'm probably gonna get, I think it's like $4. So I pay $20 for 5 gallons of propane in my 20-pound bottle. So that's a tip. Make sure that you have all your propane full, because that runs your refrigerator when boondocking, that runs your heater, okay? Because I don't have the fancy, not yet, I don't have the fancy 12-volt refrigerator that also runs your stove. So remember that.
Well, when we were in Ohio, we discovered that Tractor Supply has an app, and that you can pull right up and then you can request propane. So you scroll down and it says ready for your propane refill. When you arrive at one of our stores, simply notify us that you're outside and we'll come out to help you. So let's request refill. A store team member has been notified. We will be out to assist you in just a minute. And the nice thing is you can pay out here. So if you're in a hurry, you just pull up, fill up, and out you go. It's only been like 2 minutes. Somebody's already on their way.
Yeah.
Yeehaw, we're going in.
I'm going to tell you why I like going to Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply knows what they're doing when it comes to filling propane. You can go to other places and they're not too up on how to actually fill a propane tank, but Tractor Supply, they got it going on.
So that's the thing. You have to have your tank actually can't be expired or something.
No, it has. Every 12 years it'll expire.
So every 12 years. So that one was recertified 319.
Correct.
So it's got 12 years on it. So and that one's got, I think, 20, and this one's 20. So that's how you know.
Yep, 20's under there. That's re-stamped there. Yeah, you're good.
So this is my conundrum. As you can tell, this needs to be a female. This needs to be this, so it can connect to my pump. So I'm gonna cut this off right now. For me that I don't cut myself. All right, that. Look at easy, right? Put this in there like this. This is me again, solving conundrum. Nice and tight. So you need to make sure you got the correct direction. I'm going to use this for demonstration only, okay? Do not try this at home. This is my Vitaman power station. What do you guys think about that? So it gives 1,500 watts of power. Not only that, it has 1548 watt hours, and it's just like a mini generator. So you can like use it. You could use it like for your CPAP. So at night when you got to turn off your generator, I can run my whole trailer on this. The water bag is in your truck. Okay. This, you need to fill your trailer up with water. I'm going to turn the water on here because it's done sterilizing. I'm going to turn on the pump. For demonstration only, this should be connected to the battery. This is for jumping. Connects to your battery on your trailer. The water bladder is in your truck. You go get water, you refill your water. Seems like a lot, but trust me, it's a heck of a lot better than hooking up your trailer and going to get water. So let's see what Rhonda's doing inside.
Even though Stan filters the water before it goes into the water tank, we don't drink it. That is going to be used for our showers. It'll be used for washing the dishes, flushing the toilet.
I do sterilize the water tank and the water system, and I do that with a little bit of bleach, but I do sterilize it, but we don't drink it.
Well, we're not going to drink it. So I refill these gallon bottles, and I have 3 of them, and that keeps it pretty, probably lasts me 2-3 days, probably a gallon a day. Because we will use this to fill up our stainless steel water bottles, which we keep, on hand, and we keep those. I use them to fill up the ice trays. I don't have a fancy ice maker. I just fill up the ice trays and make sure I do that before bed, and we always have ice. We're never out of ice. So I have two little trays.
So Rhonda, how did you fill those bottles?
So this is a 5-gallon water bottle. We go fill this guy up at Walmart. We found it at the grocery stores. Walmart's always in the back of the store. I think when we filled this up was like $2.30. It's super cheap. We usually keep this right outside the door. And then when I need to refill these bottles every 3-4 days, I have this fancy little pump, and it has a USB cord that where's the USB? Okay, so a little USB cord here, and then it just, I take that off. It has a little pump tube there. It drops down inside. That goes on. This goes here. And when it goes, goes there, and I just push the button. Whoop, a little bit left in there. But it just pumps the water right out into the water bottles. I want to say it's like $17. All these things will be in our Amazon store. There's a link in the description. Just go into the description. You just click our Amazon store. You can find all these things. We're going to create a little file that says boondocking items, and you can check these things out. So like $17. This thing has been a game changer. This has been a game changer for us because I felt like we were always going and getting water. And just, it's nice.
Well, and we're saving on the plastic water bottles. We're not using those as much.
Yeah. Another tip for saving water when you're boondocking is when you get in the shower. You know how it takes just, a minute to get warm, even on the instant water heaters, it's still going to take a little bit of time. You're going to lose a lot of water. It's going to fill your tanks. So we plan on just putting, getting a collapsible bucket. I don't want to just let the water run, so I'm going to have it run into the bucket. And then our plan for that water is to just leave it here by the toilet and just use that for flushing. Okay, here are a few of my suggestions on how to stay clean when you're boondocking and to save water. Sanitizer, simple little sanitizer, keep it close so you can use this instead of soap and water in certain situations. An assortment of wipes, face wipes, body wipes. Now you're not flushing any of these things are just going to go into, dispose of them into your trash can, and then that way when you go to a receptacle you can just get rid of them, but no water required. And not to be vain, but when I'm camping, I don't really want to look like I'm camping in the sense that I don't want to have greasy hair. So if I go 3 days without washing my hair, it may start getting a little greasy in the roots there. So this stuff is amazing. It's a dry shampoo. And then what you do is you just take it and you're going to spray it on your roots and, you know, up underneath and anywhere, and then you just rub it in and it dries, and it just dries your hair out a little bit and it makes it look clean even though it's not. It's our little secret. If you're like me, you love coffee in the morning, and when we are boondocking, if there's other people around and you're up early, 5, 6, you do not want to run a generator that early. You want to be respectful for the people around you. I can't run my Keurig then, so what we do, and Stan actually prefers this, and we call it sludge coffee, we will use a little percolator. This thing's been around, I'm guessing probably 15 years, if not more. We used this when we were camping. It is kind of a little bit of a learning curve. Some people use French presses. I think that's the
this
fancy
is old
thing.
school.
This is old school
because we're old folks.
But you're gonna put your grounds in there. You're gonna pop that on there like that. You fill the water up to however. There's some lines in there. Pop that in there. Put your lid on. Turn that bad boy on, and once it starts percolating, you're gonna see it in there. You're gonna see it start changing colors. All right, to conserve your propane, if you're camping when it's cold, be sure to pack extra blankets. And then what are you gonna do after dinner, after your walk, things have settled down? There's no television. Oh my gosh. So this is one of my favorite things about boondocking, because Stan does not like games, but he will play games with me when we're boondocking. So make sure you pack puzzles and plenty of games. Let's go see what Stan's doing outside.
All right, we've covered water, how to wash dishes, how to save your water in the shower. Water is essential when boondocking. The one thing and the most important thing is your battery life. Now, I'm not going to get into solar and battery. We have been running 2 lead acid batteries now for we're in our 4th year now. And that's all we've been using for boondocking. We know that our lead acid batteries will last about 48 hours. And with that can run the heater, run everything that it needs to run, the lights, as long as we can conserve. But one of the game changers that we definitely recommend, if you don't have solar, I personally, solar is awesome. But what happens when it's a cloudy day? What happens when you're in the national forest and you have to get under a rainforest like we did in Washington at Olympic National Park, where there is no sun? You're going to have a problem recharging those batteries. Well, we could never go wrong with our generator, our dual fuel generator. It's a game changer for us. I only use propane. You can use it with gas, propane. It charges up my batteries to full within about 15 minutes. It'll charge my batteries up to full. But not only that, I can run my air conditioner on hot days. It can run my entire rig and everything in my rig because of the size of this generator. So what I have here, I'm not saying that this is what you need to have. It's a big and it's heavy, but it's a 4,650 watt inverter. Use your 110 plugs, or I plug my 30 amp directly into it. It's easy to start. I'm gonna just do that real quick. Runs on propane, like I said. It's got electric start. And it's super quiet. So how can you go wrong with that? This is basically gives us all the power that we need. And like you said, you could hear me talking while the thing is running. But we've got something new in our arsenal. And I talked about it a little bit. I was using it improperly for my demonstration of my water bladder. Well, here's my water bladder right here. It's got all the water out of it. You can fold it up real small if you want. My pump right here, ready to go to refill water at any time. But this is the Vitoman, and it's called the flash speed. And the reason why it's called the 1500 flash speed, because you can charge this up to full capacity in an hour on 110. So if I were to run my generator, plug it in, it will go to full power. So I will have 1548 watt hours of power, of 110 power, meaning that I don't have to run my generator or worry about my generator at night. I can run my TV, I can run certain things certain things that take a lot. You can't run like your dryer or your hair dryer and stuff like that. You can't do that. But it'll run all your lights, it'll run your TV, run your computers. You can plug in your all your cell phones, all your electronics, all of that kind of stuff. This is a game changer. And most importantly, it's a problem solving. And I've said this in my video before. You can plug your CPAP in this thing and it can run for 15 hours. For 2 of them if you want, because the CPAP only takes 50 watt hours. So you can run it all night, charge it up with your generator. But here's another caveat. They come with solar panels. You can plug your solar panels, and those solar panels will recharge your Vitoman at 200 watts per hour. You could stand them up like this, you could lay them down. This is another arsenal that we can use. If I choose to just trickle charge my battery, my lead acid batteries, on just a solar panel, I can do that. So here's what's important, battery. You've got to make sure you take care of your battery, because people come out and they boondock and they discover, oh, my batteries are bad. Battery life is important. I may change to lithium batteries, change my inverter and change to lithium so I have a longer watt hours or amp hours, whatever you want to call it. I may do that, but right now I have been sufficient with the lead acid batteries. And the reason why, I keep it on a trickle charger. I never let it get below 50%. With lead acid battery, this is a tip, don't ever let it get below 50%. You're going to damage that battery. It's always been above, and it's been working like a charm. So these are our tips for boondocking. We hope that we could help you. We hope that we've answered some questions how we boondock, and we told you we would bring this to you and how we do it. Like I said, water is essential, electricity is essential. The other thing that you need to be really sparing is your black tank. So you're gonna need to figure that out yourself, and we're not gonna go into that because some folks do compost. That's fine with them. Some people have different ways, and that's just too yucky to get into on how they conserve. We're Stan and Rhonda from Over the Hill Adventures.
And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. It's free. It just means you're encouraging us to keep making videos like this to help you find your new adventure.
And what really helps us also is if you share these videos. And of course, ring the bell. Did you say that yet?
No, that'll notify you.
That will notify you when we have one of these fantastic videos coming back to you in your living room. So,
all right. Well, until next time,
seek your new adventure and live your best life.
God bless.
There you have it.